Hi, it's Edward, back with another video. Please take a moment to click the thumbs up button below and consider subscribing to the channel. Please also share this video via social media and with your friends via email. Thank you for your support. Today, I read several financial news articles. I've included links to the articles in the description below. I encourage you to read the articles to support the authors and news sources. As a private American citizen, I'd like to report and share my transformative thoughts through commentary regarding small sections of these articles that are of public interest. Today, I read an article on yahoo.com put out by BuzzFeed titled, "I don't know why more campgrounds for millennials aren't popping up. This young couple moved into a camper as their first house because the housing crisis is real, y'all." According to the article, you want to own something and not pay rent anymore. But with high mortgage rates and the median U.S. home price at $431,000, owning a home feels entirely out of reach. How about a camper? For Anna, 23, and her boyfriend Jake, 25, they traded in a $2,000 monthly rent payment to own and live in a camper for nearly half the cost. Well, I found this article to be very interesting. I have wondered how long young people are going to be able to go on paying overpriced rent. It is crazy how much rent has increased in the past few years in many areas around the country. I have thought for a while that this can't be sustainable in the long term for many everyday Americans. Well, this article seems to highlight how one young couple took matters into their own hands and decided to get out of an apartment and get into a camper. The young woman featured in this article is named Anna, and she talks about how the camper was recently purchased. According to Anna, and I'll quote, "For my age, it just made so much sense to buy this. I mean, the payment is literally $373 a month, and that's my boyfriend and I splitting that. It's like $170 a person, so we're thriving." Here are my thoughts. Anna, this is nothing new. Sarasota Tim has been doing this for quite some time now. Perhaps you have never had the opportunity to check out his channel. Now, apparently Anna and her boyfriend are living near Virginia Beach. It gets cold there in the winter, but not as cold as somewhere in the northern parts of America. Try living in a camper all winter long in North Dakota or somewhere like Minnesota. It could be a lot more difficult depending on how experienced of a camper you are. Now, this article goes on to explain that their $373 per month payment for the camper isn't their only expense. They keep their RV at an RV resort where rent costs $800 to $1,100 per month, depending on the season. Anna indicates that she weighed out every possible cost to see if it was worth the money, and it totally 100% was. I hope that Anna factored in depreciation of the RV, insurance for the RV, and maintenance for the RV. The fact of the matter is, RVs can depreciate quite a bit. An RV is a depreciating liability, unlike owning real estate where you stand a chance at it appreciating over the long run. This young woman, Anna, said that boondocking is another camping option which is more cost-friendly than renting land at a park or resort. Boondocking is free. This is when people let you live off their land for a certain amount of time and let you use all of their hookups, such as water, sewage, and electric. Okay, here's my opinion. Buying some land with utilities might be a better long-term solution if you are committing to living in an RV in the long run. Checking on zoning and local codes would be important before buying land. Always consult a qualified professional in good standing who puts your interests first and foremost to see what the best option might be for your particular situation. If you buy land for your RV, you might also benefit from possible real estate appreciation over the long run. If I were considering living in an RV, which I'm not, I'd definitely be looking to buy my own land to park the RV on. I'd also try to find land where I could be allowed to rent out spots to other RV owners so that I could generate cash flow from the land. I would try to turn the RV lifestyle into a business if I could. That's just me though. I'm always looking for ways to generate income. Living in an RV might be better than living in a mobile home park. I read an article today on yahoo.com put out by Fox 35 Orlando and written by Mary Ettinger titled, "A Nightmare, Florida families evicted, given minutes to gather their belongings, families say. According to the author, families who once called the Lake Downey mobile home park in Orlando home were evicted Tuesday morning and given mere minutes to gather their most important items. Apparently, the living conditions in this mobile home park have been deteriorating. The article references Angel Coleman, the food pantry coordinator for Faith United Methodist Church across the street, as saying, "You walk in there, it looks like a bomb has gone off in there. It looks like a third world country." The author goes on to indicate that the owner of the property owed $1,489,000 for violating the fire code, $823,000 for zoning violations, and $511,000 for trash violations. The city of Orlando also placed a lien on the property after nearly $300,000 in fines were not paid. Fox 35 tried to reach the property owner, but the woman who answered the phone said the property was shut down due to drugs and violence and then hung up. When they tried a different phone number, a woman answered who yelled and then hung up. Now you might be wondering who in the world would live somewhere like this. You might also be wondering how much someone pays to live somewhere like this. Well, it wasn't cheap to live here. The author of the article references Lynette Colin, who has 4 children. She was paying $1,600 each month to live in this mobile home park. Lynette said the neighborhood had issues with crime. She also said that their water was shut off months ago. But because she's disabled and cannot work, her fixed income limits the places that she can live and afford to live. Well, my heart goes out to her and her 4 children. I hope that she can secure new housing for her family soon. Perhaps she will be able to find a cleaner and safer place for her family moving forward. Perhaps living in an RV at a nice clean park or resort like the young people named Anna and Jake are doing is a lot better than renting in a mobile home park like Lake Downey in Orlando. Perhaps the situation at Lake Downey in Orlando will improve over time. Let's hope so. Living anywhere could be cost prohibitive for many Americans due to artificial intelligence possibly disrupting the job market in the future. I read an article today on foxbusiness.com written by Aislinn Murphy titled, "Study Finds 75% of Adults Expect Job Pool to Shrink Due to AI." The author of this article indicates a Bentley Gallup Business and Society study found the share of American adults predicting AI will reduce the total number of jobs in the U.S. in the next decade came in at 75%. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the stock market has been loving the prospects of artificial intelligence this past year. The hype surrounding AI has driven up stock prices. In the long run, it is going to be very interesting to see how artificial intelligence impacts the job market in our country and around the world. I personally believe AI will create some new jobs, but I believe it will possibly displace more jobs than it creates. AI could really have an impact on several industries. The author of this article goes on to reference a Goldman Sachs report that suggested some kind of AI automation may be used for about 2/3 of U.S. positions, with about 25 to 50% of their daily work potentially being done by the technology. The researchers also noted most jobs in industries are only partially exposed to automation and thus more likely to be complemented rather than substituted by AI. Okay, my friends, did you pick up on the word most here? This means that some of these jobs in industries could be very impacted by AI, and jobs could possibly be displaced. I think young people who are trying to pick a future career need to think very carefully and consider selecting a field that may be more immune to artificial intelligence. Maybe artificial intelligence will help match couples more effectively in the future and prop up profits for dating app companies like Bumble. I read an article today on foxbusiness.com written by Sarah Ashley O'Brien titled, "Bumble CEO Whitney Wolfe Herd Steps Down." According to the author, the leadership change comes at a challenging time for this dating app industry. Last week, Match Group the dating app behemoth that owns platforms like Match.com, OkCupid, Hinge, and Tinder, which Wolf Herd co-founded before Bumble, saw its stock fall after it reported its earnings for the third quarter. The company projected lower than expected revenue for the final quarter of the year and reported losing paying customers at Tinder, the crown jewel in its portfolio. The author goes on to indicate when Bumble went public in February 2021, the stock price was more than $70 per share, and now it has fallen below $14 per share. So here are my thoughts. Some of these stocks may be under pressure because everyday Americans can't afford these dating apps, given they are struggling to pay sky-high rent, higher vehicle insurance, student loans have resumed for millions, and food at the grocery store continues to result in sticker shock. Some people may need to prioritize necessities over love right now. There may be some everyday Americans who are fed up about how some of these dating apps work, not necessarily Bumble. I've read articles in the past where authors suggested that users of some dating apps tend to only choose the 1% or 2% of the most attractive people. And all of the users paying monthly fees to use these apps get fed up. Some believe the algorithms on some of these apps are broken. I also read an interesting article once that said some dating apps are engineered not to help people find love, but to keep users on the platforms as long as possible, so they keep paying those monthly fees that are often auto-renewed. Perhaps some people looking for love are struggling financially, while others are simply fed up by the user experience provided by some of these apps. Some may also be frustrated by all of the scammers and less than genuine people on these platforms. I am sure there are plenty of people who will continue to pay to use these apps because of basic human desires. When you think about basic human desires, what are they really? Most humans want to eat, sleep, reproduce, socialize, and love and be loved. Some individuals will spend whatever it takes to satisfy some basic human desires. Unfortunately, some apps may not be delivering the experience that some of these individuals are paying for. As I said earlier, perhaps artificial intelligence can help some of these struggling companies moving forward. What do you think about living in a camper versus living in a mobile home park? And what do you think about artificial intelligence possibly disrupting the job market and potentially being helpful in matching couples in the future? Share your thoughts in the comments section below. Please keep in mind, nothing in this video is financial advice or advice of any kind. If you need advice, seek advice from a qualified professional in good standing who puts your interests first and foremost. If you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing to the channel. Please also consider sharing this video via social media or via email with your friends. I want to extend a special thanks to everyone who has subscribed to the channel. I also want to thank all of my channel members. Check out some of the great books that I suggest you consider reading in the description below. I've included Amazon affiliate links to these books. As an Amazon associate, I earn from qualifying purchases. Stay healthy and wealthy. I'll see everyone in the next video.